And I am very, very excited about what is happening there and the traction that it is getting. So much so that in speaking with one of my contacts in the Bronx, he said to me that the elder who he gave the book to read says that this topic is such an important topic that all of their conference, they're having a crusade coming up, and he's thinking that all the persons who say yes need to get a copy of this book in their hand.
Greetings, Apreneurs. Welcome to the Authorpreneur Secrets podcast, the show that uncovers the secrets to win with books beyond book sales and dominate authorpreneurship. Through exclusive author interviews, stories, and must-have resources, you will discover some of the secrets and strategies to thrive with books and generate lasting income. I invite you to become an Authorpreneur Ambassador and join me in my mission to raise up 10,000 Caribbean authorpreneurs by 2030. Spread the word about the podcast and encourage more people to increase their impact and income with books beyond book sales. To get started, visit authorpreneursecrets.com/resources and download all the resources that you need to become a winning authorpreneur. Without further ado, let's get into the show. Welcome to the Authorpreneur Secrets podcast. This is a show that gives you the roadmap to take charge of your publishing, along with stories and strategies to dominate authorpreneurship. Today, I have with me author Brian Taylor. He published his debut book in August 2022, titled Eternal Security: Hope in Hopeless Times. Brian Taylor has served as an elder at Hampton Green Gospel Chapel for over 25 years. He's passionate about sharing the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, and is an international speaker, speaking in conferences in Jamaica, across the Caribbean, and in the United States of America. His desire is to empower the next generation, and to that end, he embarked on this journey of becoming an author. And today, he's going to tell us how this journey has been. It's about 10 or so months since he wrote that book. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Brian. How are you?
Thank you very much, Ruth. I am doing very well. Thanks for that introduction.
Awesome. So we like to start the show sometimes with a little Caribbean feature. So you're still living in Jamaica, but what is the best part about being Jamaican or living in Jamaica?
Well, I believe Jamaica, as they say in the tourism business, is paradise in the sun, a slice of paradise. And the hospitality of the people is just great. Beautiful country, lovely beaches, and the countryside is just fantastic.
Awesome. Are you from the country or
No,
Kingston?
my parents, I was born in Kingston, but my parents are from the country. So while we were growing up as children, we would go down to spend summer holidays in the country.
Can you, I'm from St. Mary, so I'm a country girl. Which parish are you talking about?
Okay, so we have two parishes. Hanover was where my mom came from, and my dad from St. Thomas. Now, don't ask me how both of them met.
Not a problem. And I
But
believe that because Jamaica is a paradise, it lends
yes,
itself to that creative energy. And so talk to us a little bit about your author journey and how you got into writing this book.
I believe it started very early in my Christian experience when I would read these little booklets by Richard Dehan, and it came home to me. I was just so blessed by those little stories, and I said to myself, I'd like to start writing some of these booklets. But somehow it just fell asleep for a number of years. And then later on, I was fascinated with this topic of the eternal security. And I was invited to do a series on this subject. And having done the series, I thought about it and I said to myself, this would be lovely if we could put the series into a book so that we could share this with a wider audience. than those who participated in the series. And I think that was the early beginnings as to how this book came about.
So you're giving us an idea right there and then. If you're a teacher teaching in series, if you are a minister, a pastor, then you can take that which you've been teaching and turn it into a book. The book has an interesting title, and it's right there. It's a beautiful book, Eternal Security, Hope in Hopeless Times. And I see there is a sheep in someone's hand. What does eternal security mean to the uninitiated, and why did he use that image?
Eternal security means that, for me, that you can be confident in the salvation that God has provided for you. And just as though the sheep, the image of the sheep in asleep in the hand, tells us that we have this assurance that we are safe and secure in the hand of our Maker.
So this is a very debatable topic, eternal security. In layman's terms, there are those who believe once saved, always saved, and those who think that you can lose your salvation or quote unquote your place in heaven. And so with the eternal security, you are saying that you can be confident that when you give your life to God or you become a disciple of Christ, that you will spend eternity with him. In essence, that's what you're saying, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay, but why did you feel that of all the topics, doctrinal topics, and you're not a theologian, of all the doctrinal topics, why this one? Is there a personal connection? Why this one?
Yes, a personal connection. In my early Christian walk, I had my doubts. I was confused as to whether the salvation that I had was secured or not secured. Was I saved or was I not saved? Because I thought that I trusted, I'd given my life to the Lord. I'd made that commitment to him. And now I was having these doubts, so that I had to go back and get the assurance from the person who had led me to the Lord. And from that time, I made it a point of my duty to study the doctrine of the eternal security. So it's a doctrine that is very dear to my heart for personal reasons. And it is what I have seen over the years is a make and break doctrine. There are so many persons who are not walking with the Lord today because they believe they are no longer saved. And I've written this book to reach out to a number of these persons and just to explain to them that the salvation that God provided for them is a package deal. And if they understand the various components of this package deal, they will see that the eternal God that we serve prepared an eternal salvation for his children.
I love that. It's a package deal, and the eternal God prepared a package deal for an eternal package deal for his children. I love that. Now our listeners are varied. Not everybody who is listening is a Christian, but I am a Christian. And so it is my joy to be able to help Christian authors to get their message across and to use this platform to get that message across. Now let's talk about impact, because on this program, it's not just about book sales, but we are also interested in the impact of the book. Since August 2022, how has it changed your life, and what has just been the general feedback?
It's been a journey, and it's been an interesting journey, because since the launch of the book, I have been going around to the assemblies promoting this book. So I've been doing a lot of preaching for the most part, and on one or two occasions just promoting, but it has been a lot of preaching. And I believe that as a result of that, I was asked by the National Easter Convention of the Christian Brethren Assemblies to speak at the annual convention for both sessions, morning and evening. That was a blessing in and of itself, and I mean, the Lord showed up, and we were blessed. Currently, I am doing having some dialogue in the New York area among some of the churches, and I am very, very excited about what is happening there and the traction that it is getting. so much so that in speaking with one of my contacts in the Bronx, he said to me that the elder who he gave the book to read says that this topic is such an important topic that all of their conference, they're having a crusade coming up, and he's thinking that all the persons who say yes need to get a copy of this book in their hand. And the same for their VBS. I am so excited about that. And I have been getting some orders, so much so that we have shipped 200 copies up to them for them to distribute among themselves. So it's a positive thing, and I will be up there as well. And I have some promotions lined up just to put a face book in the churches in the US, more so in New York.
So we're seeing that books open doors. A book can activate you for ministry, and if you were already in ministry, it's an opportunity to scale that, to expand that, and to reach a wider group. And I love what I heard there in that, that minister has said that they're having this crusade, and then they're going to try to get this book into the hands of everybody who make a decision. That is awesome. And that's why we do what we do, because the book will get into homes and rooms that you never will. And that so we say that the book is not just a product to sell, but it's a platform for ministry. It's a platform to achieve your personal, professional, spiritual. It's the perfect spark to get the fire going, or to keep the fire going, to blaze the trail for so many things. And you are the perfect example. I want to ask, though, for someone who is thinking of going down this path, maybe they've been teaching a series, they have been thinking about writing a book for many years, but haven't gotten around to doing it. Based on your experience, what word of advice would you give to them?
I would say to anyone who is having or contemplating this thought, just to go ahead with it for a number of reasons. Or let me just mention two. One, when you write a book, when you take the time to put the thoughts to pen and paper, you leave a legacy. So the book will outlive you when you are gone. And two, the impact that it will have on the lives of those who are here and those who are to come. And so it's a legacy that I would suggest to anyone who is having these thoughts to go ahead and do it. And it really does open a lot of doors, and it's a blessing when we can do that. And I encourage everybody to do it. Make sure you put pen to paper, even if it's not anything doctrinal, but I mean, everybody has a story to tell. And I so encourage us to look into our lives and see the stories that we can tell and how we can share experiences, and it would be amazing to see how others can benefit from that.
No, this show facilitates and highlights a lot of independent publishers who normally pay to get their books published. It hasn't been a year yet. And so I just want to ask, for those who are considering if it's worth the expense, was it worth it for you? Were you able to make back your publishing cost?
I was able to recoup my publishing expenses. And so for me, it's a win-win. It really has been a blessing.
Awesome. So you hear that? Within less than a year, he was able to recoup his expenses. And remember, you have your copyright up to 95 years after you die. So your book is a legacy, as he said. It's an asset that you can pass on to the next generation. And with a topic like this, as long as church remains, this book will remain handy based on how it was written. So for those who want to get in touch with you, Brian, to have you come and do a series, or, make a bulk order or speak on this topic, tell us, where can we find you? Where is the book available?
All right. Currently, the book is available locally in Jamaica at CLC, that's Christian Literature Crusade, that's Church Street, downtown. There are some other places that we are having some conversation with at this time, not yet been finalized. But also, you can drop me an email at btbkreview@gmail.com. So let me repeat that. It's btbkreview@gmail.com. You could also get me on IG. It's Brian T on IG. So that's BRIANTONIG. The book is available. If you are not in Jamaica, the book is available on Amazon.
Yes.
So you can go on Amazon, just type in the name Eternal Security, Hope in Hopeless Time by Brian Taylor, and it will pop up. And you can easily place an order. It's available in 3 formats right now, which is the paperback hardcover and the Kindle. And we hope to get it very soon, the audio version of it. So we have some more plans for this book.
Awesome. Well, Ella Taylor, it has been a privilege to have you on the Authorpreneur Secrets podcast, sharing your story and helping us to see again how you can leverage your book for increased impact and also income, and why it's worthwhile to share your story and to pen it and put it out there, publish it for the world to access it. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much as well.